Just go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Street Fight radio program. We are on your digital devices, and it's the show that you've come to know every single week for 10 years now. We've continued to do this song and dance, and we're going to keep it up until the end of days. So buckle in and make yourself comfortable. We're trying to build a gigantic movement of people to flatten all hierarchies across the earth. If you're into that idea, let us know. If you got a good idea on what to do, we'd love to hear it as well. We are available on WCRS LP FM in Columbus, Ohio. Check it out. Add it to your radio dial. If you're here in Columbus, you can listen to us each week. And then Sunday nights, we do the call-in Street Fight. That's where we hear from you, the listener. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Sunday. Call and talk to us. We'll be here. We want to hear what's going on in your world and how things are with you. And if you are, if you are looking for a way to support the show, you can do that by reviewing it on whatever podcasting app you get it from, or going to patreon.com/streetfightradio. You can get access to hundreds of bonus shows. You sign up for $5. They don't even take the money today. You get access to our entire catalog of premium shows. We're the trendsetters, of Patreon, of podcasting. We came up with all this shit that everybody's doing. And that's why, Brian in his deep dive system is being copied by everybody else on the block, but no one is like us. So head to patreon.com/streetfightradio or store.streetfightradio.com and buy some stickers and shit. I feel like I'm all alone now.
Nobody dives deeper than me.
I love that.
Places. I just dive deep as I can, as possible. And all different sorts of subjects that are roughly the same, Yeah,
I deep dive too.
Yeah.
Mine's
more about like dudes who are bad. Mostly I go looking for bad dudes and then just really like to spend as much time as I can with them, talking in my ear, reading about them, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I deep dive for pleasure.
Yeah. It makes me feel less bad,
To know that there's people worse than you?
Yep. I'm operating on like a relative level where it's like, man, I'm not any of these guys. I'm not fucking man cow. So that's something.
I think it's also nice to see some dim bulb get like $1 million fucking dollars, because then there's no reason to believe that there's any way that makes sense on like what you should expect or where your career is going to go or anything. It's like some of the dumbest people in the world have the most.
Yeah, some dumb motherfuckers get levels of money. I mean, Joe Rogan sits around in furniture made and stuffed with money, and he's got to be one of the dumbest guys I've ever heard. I was so annoyed today, dude, because like my Spotify year in Wrapped thing came up to tell me what I've been listening to. And like, I don't put a lot of stock in the Spotify Wrapped because I do a lot of work using Spotify,
Okay.
So it can't really tell me what I was interested in over the year, because I have to listen to like, the new metal albums and the butt rock albums and stuff like that. And it told me my favorite podcast of the year was fucking Joe Rogan, because I listened to 6 episodes of it over the year. And I'm like, you could have just left that out. I listened to 6 episodes because one of them had Jim Brewer on it. One of them had Anthony Cumia on it.
Yeah.
I just listen to it. I go where my muse takes me, and it was Jim Brewer at that time. So I got my shot, my 3rd shot, my booster shot. I did the right thing. I went to Walgreens. Miserable experience. Totally miserable experience. I could not be more mad at the Walgreens Corporation than I was last night.
What they
wasn't
do?
mad at the just there were two people working at the pharmacy, right? And one of them was in the white coat and one of them was in scrubs. Okay. And I don't
Okay.
know what that means. That could just be like, you know, back when I worked at the cable company, they had like polo shirts and they had collared like shirts, they had t-shirts, and they had denim button-up shirts. And I wore a denim button-up shirt, but that didn't mean shit. It just was my preference was to wear a denim button-up shirt to work.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So
you think that the jacket person is that maybe they just like the jacket?
Yep.
Or do you think or you think that's like a title thing? Like, I earned this jacket.
I wonder. I do wonder. I don't know how pharmacists what they do. You know what I mean?
They have little notepad pockets on the front of that jacket. They can just write shit down.
So
do you have to go? Why do you have to go to school for it again? Do you
count? You gotta count
real?
the pills right. Yeah,
well, you got to be able to know what the
two.
side effects and shit are. You got to be able to tell them like what's up. That's why I forgot.
You can read that though, you know.
Yeah, at this point in time, it's a bit different. Yeah, I mean, I never ask them. I feel like I should. I'm real bad with the doctor and with any medical people. I don't trust them. It's just like a bad hillbilly problem I have ingrained in me, you know.
Like, do we need? I think what you're saying is like, I don't think I need. When they say, do you have any questions about your medication? It's like, no, I don't fucking have any questions. Is it written on the goddamn bottle? Okay.
I know what 2 every 4 hours means, you know, like I know what that means. I know what take with water or take with food. I know what that means.
I think that is also like a have a nice day gimmick, you know? Like, because the cashier doesn't want you to, they don't care if you have a nice day. Really? You know, they just fucking kind of send you out and they say, have a nice day. And they're like, I mean, in their mind, they're like, I don't care if you have a bad day. I don't care if you walk out of this place and die today, you know, but they have to say it. Maybe that is the situation. But yeah, I don't know.
What about if you were like, they were like, do you need anything? Do you need help with any of the medications? And you said yes, and then they just grabbed the bottle and they read it really loudly at you. And they were just like, take as needed.
I just don't even know what they could. Yeah, what can they fucking possibly tell me? And
you know what? And here's the thing. Because they're bound by corporate speak, they aren't going to say like, this one might give you the shits. Like the first time you try it, don't leave home. Like stay near a restroom because it could be funky on your stomach.
They also do. I mean, you got to be fair to pharmacists because they do deal with the most annoying. I would have to say that like of the types of customers, people that go to the pharmacy got to be the most annoying types of customers.
Yeah.
Regular.
I mean, the education level of this country, not the best, especially when it comes to medical stuff, as we've seen over and over again. Lots of cranky people, lots of people, lonely people too, like older, lonely people.
So here's what pissed me off, Brett. Jacket lady was in the back doing something, standing somewhere in her fucking jacket.
Probably just puffing on a pipe or something, getting a little brain fluid going.
Not answering the phone. The phone's just going fucking bonkers the whole time I'm there. Boop, boop, bidoop. Boop, boop, bidoop. Dude. We're talking constant. And the drive-through, ding, ding, because guys are fucking driving back and forth over the fucking gimmick outside. And this one lady Scrubs lady is fucking also handling every single customer situation. Okay. Every customer interaction went through Scrubs lady.
Right.
Also, Scrubs lady was giving the shots, answering the phone, checking in appointments, working the fucking drive-through window, and Jacket Lady, I don't know what the fuck she was doing back there.
What?
But like, I was so mad at her. And here's why I was mad at her, Brett. How many times you had a job where like somebody has a title that's just like barely above you? Where they're just like, I don't deal with the customers. I'm sorry. I mean, if you didn't want to deal with the customers, you should work your way up to my position.
Absolutely. No, that was always like people that became like leads or shit, or people that were like, yeah, like, oh, I don't do that anymore. And it's like, you're supposed to help. You're not doing that much more, you know, than me here. Like you can chip in. I know you know how to do this shit.
And I'm just looking at this lady like, I wanted to fucking scream at this lady. Everybody's being nice to Scrubs Lady, right? Like nobody's being super mean. People are getting annoyed. I watched.
Was she holding up like beakers with fluids in them or something?
No, dude. She was fucking standing. Listen, I don't know what she was doing. It looked like she was staring at the wall to me from outside of the thing.
Okay.
Like, she was answering a phone.
Maybe she was pondering pharmacological conundrums.
Well, she was answering a phone, but from what I could figure out, she was talking to other pharmacists and doctors and shit, which is also such a fucking call center thing.
Yeah.
Where, like when I worked at the call center, a motherfucker would get their ass off the phone and become like a manager or a lead. And then if they had to get on the phone, it would be to talk to another manager or another lead or something, never to a customer.
Right. No, they spend most of their time talking to each other.
And I was so mad about it. Basically, I was like super mad about it from all angles, right? Because it's like I made an appointment for this. Okay. And I'm not trying to be a Karen. Okay. But I made a fucking 7:30 appointment. I made a 7:40 appointment for my wife. Guy in front of me made a 7:20 appointment. You know, there's all these people there with an appointment and they're waiting an hour in line. Plus the people without an appointment that are just there to pick up a prescription, they're fucking waiting 45 minutes in line. Line's not moving. And it's because Walgreens they were just like, put the fucking appointments up. They probably get money from we know they get money from the fucking government.
Right? Oh yeah. You want to give those out. You get credits on that for sure.
Yeah. So they fucking are just like, they don't give a fuck what the material like situation is in the Walgreens at all. They don't care about Scrubs Lady. They don't care about Jacket Lady. They don't care about me. They don't care about any of the people waiting in line. They don't care about the guy that's fucking sitting in his car out at the drive-through, unsure if the place is even fucking open. You know, like they don't care, or the person that's calling on the phone over and over and over again, and the phone's just fucking going off. And it was so annoying. It was so frustrating.
No, it's exactly like Starbucks, the Starbucks thing we talked about, where it's like, yeah, we'll take your money. If you want to drink, we'll take the money. But we don't know if we have enough people on staff to make it. And we're going to make them make 100 drinks ordered off the internet while, 50 people want to come through the line,
Yes. Yeah.
There's no control. We have no control over the work environment. And it results in these like horrible situations for everyone involved. Everyone wants to fucking fight.
Except for Jacket Lady. Jacket
Lady
was doing it right, dude. She was feeling great about her night, I think. Like, she was just kind of back there.
Swirling a drink in her hand, swirling a crystal light in her hand, smoking a bubble pipe.
Maybe doing paperwork. Maybe she was doing fucking paperwork, end of the night paperwork, so Scrubs Lady could leave on time. But I was totally shocked by the whole situation. I was so shocked when I saw two people working, and then it was just one person doing everything.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy to me.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Also, they have you fill out paperwork on. They're like, "Do you want to fill your paperwork out online?" So you fill your paperwork out online, and then when you get there, they hand you the paperwork again.
Nice. That's really
Makes me so mad.
so fun. So fun when they do that. That makes you happy customers. We double checked it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the fucking weirdest thing. I did have the weird I mean, like me and Katie are waiting in line and I fucking look over and they have dick pills for like people with diabetes, which I was like, well, I'm probably gonna get diabetes, but at least I'll be able to buy dick pills.
And that's silver lining. You're improving, Brian. You're looking at the bright side.
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah, it was just a nutty fucking, it was just such a nutty experience and it was so frustrating. And I hate that situation where, you know, one person is doing like the non-customer shit. Like everybody has to do the customer shit. I'm sorry.
yeah.
At any place with customers, I think if we're doing like a fucking thing where we're like horizontal organization, right?
Mhm.
I think everybody in the building should have to deal with customers.
Yeah, I agree. Well, not that some people aren't good at it. I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah,
Not,
I
not
think,
everybody
like, it would
wants to.
help.
We got to think about our antisocial, people
But a lot of
that just
but
want to
they
stack
they're-
boxes and shit.
Yeah, they can stack boxes though. You know what I'm saying? Like they can do, because people who stack boxes also have to deal with the fucking customers, man. I did stock at Kroger and they were like, if somebody comes up to you, man, you got to show them where
Right.
it is. You got to know where everything in this fucking store is, which
I
by the
always.
way, didn't know. They fucking gave you a test. I don't know how I don't actually know how I got the job at Kroger, because they did give you a test where like they were like, what aisle is this shit in? So it would be like shaving cream. What aisle is shaving cream in? And I somehow remembered all that shit and got hired.
Yeah, whenever I ask I always regret asking the Kroger stock person because some of them are like truly afraid, like just
Yeah.
total deer in the headlights.
And they have to go with you.
Yeah, they
When
have to
go with
escort you there.
They're escorting you and they're like not super sure. And
Yeah.
they're fucking really nervous
Yep.
that they walked you the wrong way. You know,
Yep.
You're like, where's the fucking Pop-Tarts? And then they start walking a direction and they're just like really holding on for dear life, hoping they don't have to turn around and walk the other direction because they started going the wrong way.
Right.
Believe me, I've been there, my man.
Yeah. I've also seen some customer service breakdowns recently. I did actually sign up for DoorDash because I need money for Christmas and I'm not going to overextend myself.
That's a good fucking move, dude. I mean, how is it? How's DoorDash?
I like it a lot. So far it's not bad. I just listen to podcasts all day and drive around like a maniac. But today I ended up at Bob Evans, and Bob Evans was a fucking nightmare. Like I regretted it immediately. I walked in and there's like 4 other DoorDash people sitting in the lobby. It's like and the restaurant is about a quarter full, and the counter space where there used to be like little booths, not booths, little stools, like the little round stools that you sit on at a counter. Like the whole counter is just filled with like to-go orders. And like they get my information and I'm waiting there for 10 minutes and they bring food out and it's for one of the other drivers. And I was there for so fucking long. It was crazy. And as I was there, a guy leaving was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, and was just so pissed as he was leaving because the service was awful. Like everything was awful about it. Like
Drivers
another
are some of the most hot under the collar people I've ever seen in business, period.
Well, the customers too.
drivers.
The customer leaving, like the customers were pissed too. Like all around, it was just neglect everywhere you looked. And it was just like it was way super overwhelming. Yeah, and it was like it was just a complete shit show. I'm glad I couldn't believe it.
it sucks, man, because it's like we've talked about this a lot, but like nothing is set up for that. You know,
No,
like
the whole economy changed. And then, I mean, the whole industry of food has changed. And this is
we
also
still
an
haven't
answer
figured
to
it out. We still haven't figured it out too. I think I have a solution for it. I believe I 100% have a solution for it. These big corporations that do high volume orders, right? They just need a ghost kitchen in town.
Yes.
And then a place for people to come in and get the food, you know, without ordering online. You know, that's all it is. Like Chipotle can afford a ghost kitchen
For sure.
and fucking Donato's can afford a fucking ghost kitchen. That's all it has to be is a ghost kitchen.
Yeah, it's really wild so far. And they made me get pick up from a fucking hospital, Tim Hortons. So, like, I had to park in the fucking no parking zone and run inside to a Tim Hortons. So weird. But I also, this is an answer to why people aren't taking no $12 an hour jobs anymore. Because if I didn't have a kid, like, I could just drive for 12 hours a fucking day and have a pretty damn good existence for as much, you know, be able to have beer and drugs and go to concerts easily. You know, I could see myself like just spending the whole day in the fucking car until it's time to go hang out at somebody's house, you know?
Yeah, I really wish they would have done food when I was driving for Lyft. I probably would have lasted much longer. Like the food part, I think seems like way up my alley. I just hated having people in my car, like disrespectful fucking assholes in my car.
For sure.
And a lot of DoorDash. Actually, I don't know if this is the case. It's just me, and if I'm just an antisocial freak, but like, I mean, do a lot of people basically throw it on my front porch as the default anyway? Like, do you have to knock on the door to most people, or do you get to just throw it on the porch?
Yeah, it's really weird. Because I also found out, well, for the most part, people just have me leave it. So yeah, you just take a picture of it on their front doorstep.
That's me, baby.
The weird thing, the people that had me knock on the door were like super fucking depressed people. Like a full, like, of the like few people that had me answer, probably 75% of them were like, I would like to call a wellness check on them if I could.
Oh yeah.
Like, house is just fucking miserably filthy, clothes are disgusting, hair is just a ball of grease. And people answered the fucking, they just answered the door like that. Like they're so far down a hole that they answer a fucking door like that. I really was like worried about a few people.
Yeah, that was the cable job, man. It was like, and then you're crawling around inside their fucking house, and you're like, what is happening here, man? Why am I here? You know? This is really sad.
It's in 2 days, man, 2 days. And then today I saw a fucking woman getting goddamn violent at the rallies, screaming at the rallies, trying to beat the window in.
Why?
I don't fucking know. I couldn't understand what she was saying. Just motherfuckers. She was trying to like reach into the window. The guy pushed her arm out, locked the window, and then she's beating on it as hard as she fucking can. Then it was just like, this is fast food customer service. This is like that guy saying Jesus fucking Christ. Like, the abuse is just immediately the abuse set in. I also, one thing, this is kind of regret as well, and this is not true, but it just made me laugh, is like every time I would go, like, someone would order like 1 cup of soup from fucking Panera Bread, you know, and I drive it to their house and they would tip me. And I'm like, I bet you paid $14 for this cup of broccoli cheddar soup. And then I'm like, and this is why your ass lives in an apartment. Like, I'm like real judgy. Like, if you motherfuckers were not buying why are you people spending money on this? You shouldn't be. You're paying way too much money for this shit.
Oh yeah. I just had DoorDash tonight. I had this place called Yats that is very cheap place to eat, actually, and I paid $25 just for my dinner.
Oh fuck. I know what you're talking about. That's criminal.
And Yats is basically like you can go in there and get it for $8.
I fucking dog, I swear, I went to Bob Evans. I drove across the street to drop it off.
Yeah.
I drove across the street. And then I also drove just like driving to people's jobs and giving their lunch stuff. I'm just like, why can't they go pick it up themselves? It's like 14 minutes away for me to get their fucking lunch for them. But we're so crunched for time and people are so pressed that they have to pay $18 for like a Five Guys combo, for lunch.
And
It's so
that's
bizarre.
an hour that maybe you're making $3 or $4 for that hour of work.
Right.
Like, I don't know what people are making, but I mean, I just can't imagine. I think if you're eating DoorDash at lunch a lot, I mean, which I would do totally. I would have been a DoorDash freak for lunch, but I try not to do it now because I think recently, I don't know what happened, but like I went and got something and I went and picked it up myself. Five Guys. I went and got Five Guys. I picked it up myself and there was like almost a $10 difference. And I was like, oh, I got to stop doing this fucking Uber Eats shit, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I got out of it. I've been out of it for a long while. I got just snapped out of it because I'm like, this is goddamn stupid. Like I don't mind. I'm fully able. I can go get my food, extenuating circumstances or once in a while, but like to just be like laying on the couch and like, in your own filth and then just typing up another order for food of styrofoam food, man, you got to get out of it. I went to Chicago. I went to Chicago and ate at a restaurant. I had like one of the best meals ever in Chicago, and it felt amazing. They made cocktails that were like cost too much money and everything. It was the best.
I actually saw this story. I mean, it's kind of interesting that you brought up DoorDash because I saw this story on the Daily Dot. I don't know how true it is. I mean, some of these websites like just go on TikTok and are like, hey, this TikToker said this, and they write a whole article about it. But it says a TikToker who claims to be a DoorDash driver says in a viral video that McDonald's has a whole section dedicated to people who don't tip, and it sparked quite a debate online. In the video, the TikToker, Jordan the model, says Dashers get to pick and choose which orders they want to take because they are independent contractors. The TikToker says they mentioned in a previous video that orders from DoorDash customers who don't tip sit longer than those of customers who do. Another TikToker recently went viral for making a similar claim about Chipotle. The creator then proceeds to show a McDonald's with about 30 to-go bags that have yet to be picked up. They claimed it was the section that was dedicated to people who didn't leave a tip for the service. You don't have to tip. You're not obligated to tip. We're also not obligated to take your order, the creator says. We are independent contractors who do not work for DoorDash, the company. We're our own bosses. And I don't think that's true. Is that true? Or do you see if they tipped before you take the? Oh,
yeah, this one, it pissed me off so bad. It was like an abysmal. It was $2.50 to drive from like Olentangy River Road, like over to Linden.
So probably about 10 miles.
Yeah,
maybe.
It was a decent run. But I ended up taking it because I feel like DoorDash will reward you or they don't bug you or whatever, but also was able to it was bundled with another one that gave me a tip. But I started doing it on campus today, and campus people tip like crazy. Like the kids that have the money, like they will give you, that's where it's at. That's
with that
like
ID.
Yeah. People that have like either because it's just the generational thing or because they are just rich kids in college that like they have a credit card and their parents pay or something, whatever. They're way more generous with the tips.
Yeah. I mean, people, when I was driving for Lyft, there was a lot of pretty good tippers on campus. Although like on campus a lot, when you're driving for Lyft, I mean, it sounds to me like your DoorDash situation is so much better of a deal than my Lyft situation. Because
for sure.
It was like, I got to pick a motherfucker up, drive them somewhere, and then maybe make $4. There were times where I picked somebody up 1 block and drove them 2 blocks over and let them out. And They didn't tip because they were like, you barely drove me anywhere.
Yeah, and you're supposed to razzle dazzle them, and you're supposed to like the car is like you're supposed to stock it with all of like chargers and water and gum and shit. And yeah, they expect you to do way too much. They're
Let them
like,
play music, let them pick the music and
Yeah.
shit, and like maybe have a conversation. You know, I would love it if when Uber instituted that thing where it's like you can tell the driver not to talk to you. I think it would be incredible to only get those calls. I might do it again. You know,
ask
where
for
it's just
only for the shy people.
only for the antisocial or shy people, so I don't have to fucking talk to them. It is wild though, dude, because like on Uber, it was like roulette or like a slot machine. Basically, when I was driving for Lyft, it was like whatever came in, you had to take it. You couldn't turn shit down.
Yeah.
You had to at least take, I think it was 98% of everything that came through. And it didn't tell you the destination until you approved the until you took the job. And even then, sometimes if they didn't type the destination in, you didn't fucking know. So basically, like I spent my time trying to figure out what parts of town. So I would go sit downtown by the expensive hotels
Uh-huh.
to see if I could take people to the airport. That was
Smart.
like my big move. It was like, okay, so if but most of the time it was really people just going like 2 or 3 blocks over. People, I was always so shocked by it. I just, you know, because of me being a walking guy. So, you know, that was wild. Oh, you know, there is another thing that I did on Monday.
Okay.
You want to hear this wild thing that I just decided to do Monday for no reason?
What do you got?
I just quit smoking. I just was like, I don't want to smoke anymore. And I gave my cigarettes to a homeless guy and fucking haven't had one since.
Great. That's awesome.
There's this like guilt. It's the same thing that happened the first time I quit back in 2006. There's like a guilt that creeps in every time you have a cigarette. Like after a while, like you get there for a while, and then like at least for me, every time I had a cigarette, I was like, this is bad. I shouldn't be fucking doing this.
Yeah.
You know you shouldn't be doing this. You look yourself in a mirror.
Yep.
You fucking know you shouldn't be doing it. And I also knew, because I kept saying I'm going to quit on the first of the year. I also knew that what worked for me when I quit in 2006 was to not give myself any notice and to just say, fuck it, I'm done. This is it. No more.
Live with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't actually feel bad. Like it seems like it's easier this time than it was in 2006. I hadn't smoked as long this time.
Yeah. And you weren't smoking as in like a whole pack a day.
I was getting there.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Fuck that.
It's not as bad. And like, I don't know, man. It just didn't taste good after a while. It's just kind of like, it doesn't give me the same feeling that it used to give me. And I think I really kind of picked it back up as something to do outside of live gigs, in which we haven't been doing them.
Yeah.
I mean, when we go back, yeah, sure. But I think I cannot do it, you know, and just hang out with people instead and talk to them without smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I felt the same way. You know, we were smoking. I started smoking again when we did the live shows because I would get super wasted. And that's one of the fun things to do. And I didn't feel so bad about it. But once COVID happened, it was like we were doing it when we were recording.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just like, but this is like a stupid thing to do. This is just like, let's go all punish ourselves together. It's like a camaraderie thing, you know, like let's all go make a bad decision together because, you know, we're doing it together. But I also got the same thing. The guilt just kept creeping in every single time. And then it would be like, I'm not going to smoke this week. I'm not going to smoke. And then I would do it. And then I would be like miserable for like the next 3 days. Just like, don't do it again. Please don't do it again. And then I would do it again. And it's hard to live through that cycle. And so then now I do have a nicotine vape, which I was afraid of vaping all day long. But I haven't, I basically hang on to it for crisis scenarios when I know I'm going to drink a lot. I just do the vape instead and it works. And I feel like I'm reformed to the point now where earlier this year, I went on a trip with somebody and was smoking cigarettes with them. And then recently on the same trip, when they kissed me and that they had smoked a cigarette, it reminded me of like kissing my fucking grandma. Like it was just disgusting. It was revolting to me. The smell was just so bad. I feel like I'm cured for a while.
Well, and I also bought what's it called? I bought nicotine lozenges.
Smart.
And I've eaten one, and that was on Monday, and I haven't touched them since then. I'm just like, I think I'm done for now. Obviously,
Sure.
I am not a guy who makes bold proclamations about what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, because I feel like, if I do go back to it, I might also feel bad. Somebody asked what brands the boys smoked. Marlboro Black Menthol Short, the Kings. They used to call them Kings when I was a kid, but they moved it to Short now. You're not allowed to call things. So yeah, man. So me and John were about to record the POD cast, and I fucking went and had I went to have a lozenge, and I felt like I was gonna fucking barf.
Oh yeah, those things
like,
will fuck you up.
I don't think I need these either, but I'm gonna keep them around
for sure.
But it also feels nice not to smell bad again.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you the truth, Brett. I don't have to wash my clothes every time I wear them again.
Yeah,
which is great. That is a fucking feeling unlike no other than not having to wash your clothes all the time.
Yeah, it's all bonus.
Oh, come on. Somebody said, of course, Brian smoked menthol. So did Brett.
Yeah, I smoked menthol always.
It's so funny. I don't even know what's the problem with that. I just picked them up, man. So let's take a look at this story. No. These are lozenges. Oh, no. I sucked the lozenge, so that's fine. Mike Lindell said during a live stream that he's pulling ads from the Christian radio network Salem. The move comes after the MyPillow CEO claimed the network never discussed why he's been canceled. This guy is so weird, Brett. This is from Yahoo News. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell said Saturday that he's pulling his advertisements from the Christian radio network Salem. Lindell announced the move during his marathon 96-hour thanks-a-thon live stream, which, by the way, didn't know that was going on. Would totally listen to that. Maybe not the whole thing, but Mike Lindell for 96 hours sounds kind of weird enough, and he seems like a weird guy. During the live stream, the Pillow pundit and election conspiracy theorist said in reference to Salem, they haven't had me on for a long time. So basically this radio network hasn't had him on as a guest, and he thinks he's canceled. He pulled all of his advertising off of the radio network.
Well, I mean, I would have asked him first. I would have tried to get on there first.
That's what I'm saying. He expressed annoyance that Salem apparently never took the time to explain why, in his opinion, the mainstream media had shunned him. He said that woke retailers had also canceled him and described their actions as a joke. So he's also been he has been kind of canceled though, Brent.
What do you do?
I had no idea about this. So he says with Salem, nobody gets to sell MyPillow products going forward. Lindell continued, "You're done selling MyPillow products." Salem is not the only network that Lindell has an issue with. Last week, Insider's Kiara Fields reported that he wanted to protest outside Fox News New York headquarters after he claimed that the network was a big part of our country being taken from us. Mike Lindell he's out there, man.
Yeah,
he might be the most out there guy out there.
We just got we have to stop picking like real enemies. We have to stop like focusing on reality stuff. We just need to start saying like everybody's after us. And like, you know, our listeners need to really buckle down and support us more because everybody's after us.
I mean, do you think I'm gonna try to get I will make sure this happens for everybody on December 18th. I think I have to go to the in-laws for Christmas. Okay.
Ooh, fun.
I will try to find out if he's a Lindell supporter.
Oh, good idea.
Because
Please.
I just don't believe anybody could possibly. I can't imagine you look at that guy and don't think automatically he's a joke.
I need to do that too. I'm gonna try to take temperature of my dad if I can. First time ever. I'm gonna drill down on my dad.
What do you say?
I hope he's just like, what do you think of that Lindell guy? He kind of seems like, I'm not, what should I say he seems like a kook, or should I just say,
I guess if you did say he seems like a kook, your dad, if he doesn't
defensive.
think he's a kook, your dad might actually say like, well, he has some good point. Because
it's a good way to throw somebody on their defensive. Because if I say that and he's offended, it means like he actually likes him.
Yeah, because a lot of times dudes will be like, a lot of time Katie's down, I'll be like, yeah, he's a fucking kook. He's a little crude, like about Trump. Right. When Trump would say something stupid, I'd be like, what about this stupid thing he said? And he's like, he's a little crude, he's a little silly, but like, you know, he's doing the right things for America. So you might be able to say Lindell's a kook. I think my tactic would probably, I mean, I wonder if they have a My Pillow. Maybe I ask about if they have a My Pillow. Because if they're Lindell supporters, they gotta own a My Pillow.
Well, right? And you're right. Yeah, but now that's a good point though, because even if they're not sympathetic to Lindell, they do want to just keep the money inside of their like hateful economy. You know, like I could see them saying like, why not buy a Lindell pillow? You know?
I mean, it is interesting. Many retailers, including Bed Bath & Beyond and Kohl's, cut ties with My Pillow and Lindell after he began spreading baseless voter fraud theories about the 2020 election, as Insider's Kate Taylor reported. Lindell made headlines back in March for announcing a fundraiser called the Lindell Legal Offense Fund, the Lindell Legal Offense Fund. So he's like,
oh, fun.
No, I'm not on the fucking defense, dude. I'm on the offense. You know, makes him seem tough, which was intended to help him go after election fraud, as the Daily Beast reporter Zachary Patrizzo posted in a tweet at the time. On Friday, Lindell said anyone who donated to the fund would receive a free copy of his memoir, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO, which, by the way, dude, I don't think this dude ever smoked crack.
What?
I think this is a big fucking... This is a lie.
What?
He said the book included a chapter where he described how he once dug through a carpet searching for crack cocaine.
Yeah, that happens to all of them.
That does happen to a lot of people, but that's also like such a highly specific, like highly specific.
No, that happens to everybody that does meth or any speed or powdered substance.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but it also is something that you could just say. And would be reason people would be like, yeah, I get it. I just don't know.
I follow recovery. There's people on TikTok, recovery TikTok people make that joke a lot.
Yeah,
he could. I mean, yeah, I don't know, maybe, or shadow people. I mean, but when you are digging through carpet, that is something that sticks in your mind forever. It's like a low moment where you're like, I think that I have a fucking problem.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think
when you're chasing that shit down. Yeah.
I think the time that I figured out I had a problem, dude, was I had the pill bottle and I fucking took my finger and ran it along the inside and on the bottom and just sucked the stuff off of it, hoping that it would get me high, you know? And I was like licking it. I would lick the insides. I would like kind of like eating a little pussy, but it was a little harder. So I would like take the thing and I go, you know,
that's gross.
Well, I was trying to get pills in me. dude. So Starbucks in
I mean,
upstate.
I don't think who would not lick the bag? Who doesn't lick the bag? Like, that's crazy. I would fight. I would definitely try to steal that shit. And like, if we're all
Yeah.
sharing, I'd be like, I'll take the bag.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, mine was just I'm running out of painkillers.
Okay.
I think I was talking about like I was thinking about it the other day, but I'm like I used to chew those fucking things up and like the taste. I think that's the other where I realized I had like kind of a drug problem was where I was like, man, these fucking pills taste so good. I would just chew a whole Vicodin up like and just really enjoy it and think it tastes good. Well, Will Westlake, a Starbucks barista in Hamburg, New York, whose store recently filed for a union election, was told by a manager he could attend an earlier mandatory anti-union meeting on November 8th because he was scheduled to work early the next day. What? Oh, okay. The meeting was in a nearby hotel. When Westlake arrived, he found out he was the only worker in attendance with 6 members of Starbucks management. The meeting lasted for about 1 hour. Before I get further into this is about a Starbucks union drive. I don't know if you heard this, Brett, or if the listeners heard this. I couldn't really play it on the air because it's like a 15-minute thing that doesn't have any sort of like logical stop and start points. But somebody recorded the audio of a anti-union meeting at Amazon where the managers were in there giving their reasoning about why the union shouldn't be there and where the employees were arguing with them. And you can Starbucks or Amazon anti-union audio, you can find it. It was on Motherboard. It was really fascinating. It was every sort of meeting you've ever been to that's anti-union, you know?
Yeah.
They kept saying like, oh, it's an outside force trying to come in and get between the employees and management so we can't do good things. And like they just so happened to have the guy in the meeting who was like the first person to sign on to the union drive. And he was like, we all work here. Like 95% of the people that are part of this group work here. So that's a lie that you said there.
I did hear that. Yeah.
It's really good. This was basically how my last anti-union meeting was. Totally separated from the rest of my coworkers and having to be surrounded, said Westlake. They started off by going around and saying that they wanted me to vote no for the union. And then they went back and forth talking about how great all the benefits are at Starbucks. And if we vote in a union, we may not have any of those benefits. This is like some real heavy intimidation where you get 6 managers and they bring one guy in.
Yeah, you're fucked. You can't do anything. You can't say shit. Why would you dare speak?
Yeah, Westlake emphasized the numerous anti-union meetings have been framed as listening sessions, but it's the workers who have been doing most of the listening. The sessions have largely consisted of management presenting anti-union talking points with little feedback from workers involved. Westlake's experience is just one part of an aggressive anti-union campaign run by the giant coffee chains as 6 Starbucks stores in the Buffalo, New York area have filed for union elections with the National Labor Relations Board in recent weeks. If successful, the stores would be the first Starbucks corporate locations to unionize in the U.S.
Nice.
Hey, if you can get us in contact with somebody from this union drive, we'd love to talk to them on a call-in show too.
Absolutely.
Or fucking, if they can't make it during the call-in show, we'll figure out a time to talk to them, because I mean, getting a Starbucks unionized would be incredible. I think that's a big one.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like getting a Walmart. That's like, if you can get a full city of Starbucks stores totally unionized, that is a move, man.
That's what I'm trying to get.
It seems like the place that might most be likely that the employees, I get a vibe off the employees at Starbucks that they would be a little bit more welcoming of a union. That like if they had the chance that they could maybe win.
I disagree. I think they floated on this idea of being better than most other places for a really long time, and they still have that reputation.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they do say that they have like really good packages.
Yeah, you should.
Not penises.
If you listen to the Why You Mad podcast, Luisa Diaz, she was actually a manager of Starbucks. I'm like what's called like $1 million store. And she really like drank the Kool-Aid on a lot of Starbucks, being the best place to work, and talked about it recently. It's pretty good.
What is $1 million store?
They do like $1 million in business every quarter.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
The company has sent more managers here to Buffalo than workers voting in the first 3 elections. There's no way it can be viewed as anything other than an attempt to spy on partners and intimidate them, said Brian Murray, a Starbucks barista in Lancaster, New York. Murray added, every day we're forced to deal with new managers we've never met, and it's draining to have to go through constant anti-union meetings, text messages, and managers trying to pry into our lives. It shouldn't be acceptable for them to treat anyone like this, especially during the lead up to an election that should be free and fair. That is wild, man. Like, the steps they're taking there are really going for it. The former Starbucks CEO and billionaire Howard Schultz visited Buffalo to present a case against unionizing to workers on November 6th and incited criticism for making an analogy to the Holocaust and discussing the company's mission.
Yeah.
I mean, here's something about Howard Schultz. Do you remember when he wanted to run for president and everybody said, we hate you, don't run for president?
I do.
And they sent him to talk to these people. I mean, I've never seen somebody get such a reaction in my life. People truly fucking hated that guy. I don't even remember why, other than he like runs Starbucks. It just annoyed people. Starbucks Workers United filed an unfair labor practice charge with the NLRB on November 4th over Starbucks conduct during the union campaign, which included Starbucks shutting down 2 stores that are holding union elections and transferring workers to disrupt the voting units. Starbucks characterized the closures as coincidental. So that is probably not true, I guess. As soon as the baristas publicly announced they wanted to have a union, corporate executives swarmed into the stores to try and stop them with threats, promises, store closings, and overwhelming pressure, said Richard Benzinger, an organizer with Starbucks Workers United. So he said all 21 employees at the Starbucks store in Cheektowaga, New York, had signed the union election petition, but the company then expanded the voting list to 46 workers. At another store, Benzinger said 80% of workers signed union authorization cards, and Starbucks shut down that store as well. The company transferred workers to other stores and turned the location into a training center.
Oh, yeah, smart.
Jesus.
Easy. It's easy for them to get rid of this shit. They have all the money in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, also, it seems fairly I know that classically it always feels so pointless to me to fight a union drive. I mean, they win a lot of times, but like it just makes you look bad to people on the outside.
They make money. They care about making money.
True, but how much less money are they going to make if a union comes in there, though?
They're anything less than what they make is not good for them.
Any less. If there's less, they don't like that.
Of course, it costs more money.
I mean, a little bit more, but I just feel like, it's like just a readjustment of like wages, and I mean, they already kind of have benefits there and shit. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's bad press but I guess I'm probably wrong because most people don't read the press about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck about this. And you give a fuck and you still shop there. I mean, like, it was like, it doesn't matter. Like, what people think doesn't matter. It's how much money they make. Like, it's
True.
you can think all the radical shit you want, but if you're not living a radical life, you're not doing anything. Like, there's just nothing to be done except for, yeah, I don't know. They win. It's and they spend so much fucking money just to fight people on getting benefits and wages and all that stuff.
True.
And they're really good at it, and they always get away with it. I don't know what to say except for do violence.
Yeah, I didn't really know that they like anybody had attempted with Starbucks, but so the last thing I'm gonna do on the show, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit with you. I don't know if you saw it, but have you seen the people freaking out about people breaking into retailers?
Yeah,
Where
San
they're
Francisco.
they're acting like it's like an epidemic all the way across the country and shit. It says I got this CNN article, and it's really weird because like I can't imagine this happens very much. It doesn't, I don't know, I've never seen it happen, never heard of anybody that attempted it, and like it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like the news stories that are coming out have very many different places. You know what I mean? Where they're always like, oh, 10 people ran into a fucking Home Depot. And then the next news story is like, it's an epidemic. 10 people ran into a Home Depot. And it's just like, it's always the same places, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'll do devil's advocate. I guess that's I normally do. I mean, they are boarding up their windows,
Sure.
right? Was that fake? I mean, they are boarding up the windows, so something is happening for sure.
Well, something has. I think the thing is something has happened. Well, I guess.
And what I would say is that they've always been vulnerable. Because like even so in there used to be this group called the Low Gang, LO, like apostrophe LO, the Polo Gang. Like they would go to downtown New York City to the Ralph Lauren store and have a whole bunch of people run in and grab stuff and just run out, and then they would resell it. So there's always been the risk, like there's no security at these places. We really do live in a polite society where most people don't want to get involved with that, but the risk of somebody just running in and taking all of your shit and getting away with the crime is very easy to do that. Actually,
it is easy to do.
It's easy to just break a window and take shit and run away. It's like smash and grab jewelry store heist on a motorcycle. I mean, that's money in the bank. Like that's a career path. They are not going to get you.
It says, we have been seeing this wave of people invading stores in large numbers, San Francisco Police Chief William Scott said. There's no way in my mind that we can have a situation where 20 up to 80 people can invade a store or series of store and there not be some communication and some organization. How come they can't find it though? How come they can't find the organization and communication?
Right, because there isn't one. They're looking for like a network or like an email list. I mean, it's 20 people that know each other. Like it's just gully people.
Yeah, it says 3 suspects were arrested November 20th after a mob ransacked the Nordstrom store in Walnut Creek, east of San Francisco. Some 80 suspects were involved, and they fled the outdoor mall in at least 10 vehicles, police said. 10 vehicles, 8 people per vehicle. Okay, well, I guess that fits. That followed similar raids that weekend near San Francisco's Union Square, where thieves targeted Louis Vuitton, Burberry, and Bloomingdale stores, a Walgreens, and cannabis dispensaries.
This is happening in Atlanta too. Atlanta, Louis and Gucci and shit got hit up too. I mean, it's going to happen more and more. I mean, it is like, it should have been happening. I don't know. Maybe it's getting more coverage now. I guess people, I don't know.
I think it's getting more coverage because I I think it's always happened in some amounts, and I do think that it's getting more coverage for the same reason, like gang shit got more coverage in the 90s, that terrorism got coverage in the 2000s,
That's
that
true.
meth got coverage. It's always the same reason. It's like people are saying defund the police, and now you're seeing Governor Gavin Newsom in California saying they're going to be doing saturation patrols near major retail sites during the holiday season.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not, you're right on that. It is they lose what, a $30,000. It's a fake $30,000 because they only paid, $300 to get the shit made, but they lose a fake $30,000 in retail every few months from some people that go get bold and run out. I have seen these videos on YouTube. I have watched plenty of videos where people run out of a store with a whole fucking rack full of clothes. But with the footage that came out of the last year with the marches and protests, this does seem like a pretty good way to cook it up, as like in every city in America now people are ransacking our precious Burberrys and Tiffany's.
Our weed dispensaries are being ransacked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's what they deserve. And I think we should have a bigger conversation about how this shit shouldn't exist, or like what the situation in San Francisco is when there's people that are buying $1,000 dog collars, and there's people that work a full-time job and can't afford anything,
can't live there,
right?
People who
the people that work there can't live there.
Yeah, the people that do the work inside the city can't fucking live there. And there's a Louis Vuitton store, there's a Burberry store, there's all these stores that are selling these things that are so priced so fucking high that, I mean, it can only be called conspicuous consumption. It's kind of like, all we hear about is that there is a homelessness problem in San Francisco, and then there's all this fucking money there, and this shit is gonna happen. If people are desperate, this shit's gonna happen. That's part of why people do crime. But
Right.
I again also kind of feel like
none of those tech people are doing it. It's not tech people that are doing it. It's people that need money to live.
Yeah, and it says the FBI is going to take a more of a role. I mean, this is just going to end up being another way for the police to harass people.
Yeah, to go after boosters, fucking boosters, and then to try to get them on RICO charges or something, or to make up, the same thing. They just make up criminal organizations.
Exactly, because there is it said, in Illinois, Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown said on Monday that his department was particularly focused on smash and grab thefts. He said 2 teenagers were arrested for the theft of $8,500 worth of items from a beauty supply store. Chicago Police Chief of Operations Brian McDermott said the department had increased patrols in the central business district and other locations and tracking stolen cars and vehicles typically used in these types of crimes. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, a Democrat, on Monday blamed cuts in the number of city police officers for the wave of smash and grab thefts, as well as the spike in gun violence. Let me be clear, Oakland needs more police, she told CNN's Kate Boldan. So yeah, that's the reason why this is like an epidemic now. They always say shit is an epidemic, and again, there was an opioid epidemic, but they didn't fucking care about it until it started to become like a fucking problem. Until it started to become a thing where the cops could bust people and get funding to fight against fentanyl and shit like that. You know?
Absolutely.
So that's just what they do. They fucking do it every time, these cops. So fuck the police. And that is Street Fight for tonight. Wish me luck on quitting smoking.
Yeah, we want to see the best. And we don't want to smell you.
Oh, come on. I like smelling. But yeah, wish me luck, everybody. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I don't think I'm going to start. I mean, if I didn't do it today, then I think I'm done.
All right. Congratulations.
All right.
We'll see you on
that
Sunday.
is the show.
Yeah. Peace.
We'll see you on Sunday.
All right, I gotta go put my kid to bed.
All right. You can just come in whenever you're ready, dude. I'm gonna start a gimmick.
Okay.
Crowd cast.
Crowdcast. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Jason,
where do you mean to come in at?
I'll send you a link on Twitter.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, man.